Hi everyone. Nice to see you all. Well, I can't see you all, but welcome to our webinar, How I Nailed Naylor Accountancy Services. This is part of our growth formula series. I hope you don't mind the How I Nailed Naylor Accountancy. It's just a pun on words, obviously. But the idea of these series of webinars that we'll do is like just go through ways that firm owners can actually grow their business and do things within their business as well. And I'm just going to start with the growth formula and throughout this. So that's how I'll be looking at it. So just to be clear on this, is this the right webinar for you? So just to be clear, if you're an accountant or bookkeeper, this is the right webinar for you. And if you are sort of you want to sort of look at different ways of looking at how you can grow your firm or changing things, instead of just in the tried and tested, just look at some more tried and tested ways that we've done, and sort of predict what the outcome can be from what other people have done, obviously from me. So it's just sort of just to look at things from the perspective I have learned and learn from my mistakes. So the whole point of this is I've made mistakes and I've had a journey. So let's get started. So we're going to start the webinar. So just to be clear on what you're going to learn today, we'll go through the growth formula. It's basically what's in my book. It doesn't specify the growth formula in the book that I have at the moment, but it will in the next book that will be coming out. And it's a way you can use it to rapidly grow your practice or accountancy firm or bookkeeping firm. Is how you can how your success starts with you. So it's all about you. And the one thing I realized was I had to start by changing myself before I could do anything, and then get the right team around me. How to get the structure and the rhythm of the business right for growth. So we've got a rhythm and structure within Naylor Accountancy Services and Intelligent Outsourcing that we actually use, which creates a good business structure. And that rhythm, it's like the heartbeat of our businesses, and it ensures everything goes forward and gets done and issues get dealt with and we move forward. So why listen to me? Some of you do know me, I know, but here is just very briefly. So I'm the MD of Naylor Accountancy Services in the UK. I'm in the UK right now. I have had that accountancy firm since 2011. So we've been going a little while. I've grown Naylor Accountancy Services and we keep growing it. We're doing acquisitions on an annual basis as well within Naylor Accountancy Services. I started Intelligent Outsourcing in 2016, which is our offshore business in the Philippines, which has now grown to over 100 team members. So if you follow just what we're going to go through, you will get predictable growth. It's not easy, nothing's easy, and there's ups and downs all the way, but it's a learning and growth, and it gives you back time, freedom, it gives you back financial freedom, and it also gives you mind freedom because you can actually then step back as a business owner as well more. Just very simple, nothing changes. If nothing changes, it's a quote, obviously, that we've all heard many times, but ignore this advice and you might think things will just stay as they are. But the environment's changing massively with the AI, with everything that's going on, everything going online with cloud accounting. So you have to be moving forward with your business, with your firm, and the way we do it. So business, like individuals, they have to improve or decline. And that's what happens. Business does go up and down, but if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result as well. So the idea from this session is think about 3 things that you might look to take action on just from this webinar. If you get 3 things from this, that's perfect. Just focus on those. But change in action is like vital, and you must change things in order to grow and achieve results that you want if you're not achieving them. So just, this is my dream. I came in to do Naylor Accountancy Service. I dreamt of it growing massively, being easy. I was going to be a millionaire within a few years. I was going to have firms or offices all over the country and everything like that. Reality wasn't that. It took longer to build. I had to build it myself. I had to know everything myself. And then we did an acquisition, which was a nightmare. I had to come back into the business to get that fixed. Part of that's in my book as well. But then what happened was it created a vision and a purpose and everything that I saw that we need to do. And we created that step by step. And that brought me out of the business, being able to focus on strategy and then move things forward. But it was a very challenging times. And the book does go into some of the stories. So it wasn't straightforward. And like it says here, the reality was it's uphill. Business is uphill. Business is up and down, but you also need to learn and develop and change yourself, and then look at what you can change within your team structure, your rhythm, and everything like that. And as accountants, we all work with entrepreneurs who start out with, massive vision and energy, but then you can see from your actual clients that they struggle. Some of them struggle to make a living. Some of them just struggle to actually get through the business year and everything like that. And they want to grow, but they're always getting dragged back. Obviously, you can help them as an accountant or bookkeeping owner, and then you can help them move forward. But there are lots of issues with any entrepreneur, because you've always got time freedom. As a business owner, you tend to be working loads of hours, especially at the start, because you're doing everything. You're wearing all the hats of your business. And then as you grow, you're able to delegate and get other team members in. And that's the key, having other teams. But we'll go into that in more detail later. So the solution, it's interesting because the formula didn't come first. What I did things step by step, and the formulas come after I've written the book, The Firm You Want. And it's actually made me realize what that actual formula was that actually gave me the way to step out of my businesses and then just step back and actually be the strategic person, the visionary, as we call them, rather than actually doing the work within the businesses. So but what it does with the formula, it looks at what you would need in order to grow and be able to do that. You may want to stay within your firm. You might not want to step out, but that's your idea. That will be your vision. But my business was failing me on what I wanted from it. So it's always key to work out what you want from the business rather than you be working for the business and just making sure it ticks over. You want the business to be working for you. So you want to be asking, where is it you want to go and what you're wanting to do. So today it's just going to apply the growth formula. We're going to have to go through it quite quickly, guys. So I apologize for that, but the book goes into more detail. Our growth series will go into little bits of it in more detail as well. So you'll get more idea of what things are, and you can be able to ask more questions as we go along. So we'll be looking at that. So the growth formula actually came into place for me in 2021. That's when it started coming into place. Once I did the acquisition, we came over that, and we've got the leadership team in place that we've got currently, and then we've got a team behind it as well, and the structure. It was coming into place, the growth formula in intelligent outsourcing with Naylor Accountancy Services. It took longer to get that in place, and it's just made my life easier. I can go on holiday without worrying. I don't have to be constantly looking at my emails. I've got someone who helps me with that. And it means that we can move things forward, and we've got big plans for both businesses going forward. And that will cover sort of in the rhythm of the business where that sort of thing comes in. So why am I sharing this? So the reason I share this is I actually want to help people grow their business and not go through the same mistakes I have had and done. In my book, I'm not going to go through any of them now, but I have 30 ways to fail. Now, I think it's very important to know the 30 ways to fail. And I've got 7 top ones, and we can go through them at some other webinar. But if you know how to fail, you know then theoretically what not to do to succeed. I've done some of these things, and when I have done talks on this at conferences, they have actually said they resonate with lots of those ways to fail, because we've all been there, not delegating, not thinking anybody's capable of doing the work. We are the only ones. I was guilty of that, and it's in my book, a little story about that. I've seen it in the acquisition with Mary. She wouldn't delegate, so that made that business a nightmare. That's why she sold it, because she couldn't sleep at night. She couldn't actually get the work done. But that was basically because she didn't think anybody else was capable. She was the only one. But these sort of things are some of the reasons why we do fail. But there's lots more in my book as well. And the good thing about this is if we can be good as accountants and bookkeeping firms, we can then help other business owners and entrepreneurs with their firms and businesses. So we can then look at how they're doing it and help them. And by doing all this, we create a better environment for everybody to work in, and it's good for the whole economy as well. So the whole point of sharing is just to give back and help everybody sort of along the journey of life, basically. So what will you discover? Just go through this again. It's going to be the growth formula. So how to set yourself up for success and how to build your team. So those are, and the last one, the rhythm of the business. So we're going to just go through those 4 things now. Oh, and the business structure. It's the 5 things, apologies, that supports the growth. So these are all the key things of the formula. So here's the formula. It's very, it's a very simple formula. So, and I didn't see this formula until I wrote the book. So it's what growth equals Y. And then I've got in brackets, because the Y is the most important thing, is T plus R plus S. Those are in brackets because you've got to sort out the Y before you do the rest. If you don't sort out the Y, you're not going to get the growth, basically. You will be stagnant, just as I was in the past. So the Y is you. So you have to start with you. And we'll talk a little bit more about the you later. But if you don't sort yourself out, your vision, what your purpose is, your core values, and then everything that's you on your self-development, and the fact that you're able to delegate out to other people and you're happy to, and you make them accountable, you can't abdicate responsibility, but you need to be able to delegate and have people take their responsibilities. But you can't, as a business owner, you can never abdicate responsibility. T's team. So your team is always so vital. Without a team, I wouldn't be doing this webinar. I've got some team members here that have just helped me make sure that it's all up and running and everything. We're going to be doing the webinars better going forward through the efforts of them, so that we're going to have it slightly different, the way we do things. And if without the team, you can't grow either. Rhythm of the business. So that is very critical. And I call it the rhythm of the business because it is a rhythm. And what you will find, if you do follow the rhythm of the business, people will say, oh, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. And I've got that right now with my Naylor team. And I'm saying, no, we need to have it, because without it, the rhythm, it's like your heartbeat. If without that rhythm, things don't go as smoothly as you want them to. At the moment, with our rhythm, and I'll talk about it more when we do the rhythm, Naylor Accountancy Service has got a really good rhythm. So is Intelligent Outsourcing. But we're talking about Naylor Accountancy Services. The rhythm is so good that we don't tend to have many big issues, because every week we go over them and we just shut them down, have a solution, change the processes. But we'll talk about that more. But if you do that, you don't think you've got anything to talk about, and you may not every week, but we'll talk about that more in detail. Then structure. So S is the structure of your business. These are basically the four components of the growth formula that are so critical. It's not, but the you is the most critical. So how do you, that's yes, you, set yourself up for success? And you might be doing it all fantastically. So don't worry if you are. Just see if you can take any actions or notes from it. Because I don't know everything. I'm constantly learning. I mean, I've been learning yesterday. I learned today. I am constantly learning. But and that's how you should be, self-developing all the time. And it just really starts with you sort of just deciding what you want. After all, the success is it's simply achieving what you set to achieve. It's defined just by achieving your goals and not someone else's, or what someone else thinks your success should look like. Now, this is critical as well, because you don't want to be working in your business. You want to be working on your business. So that means you step out of your business. But if the business is dictating what you do, you're not really succeeding in what you want to be, should be doing, or would want to do. You'd really want to be able to dictate how you will operate in that business. So for me, I knew that I wanted to step back and look at the vision and strategy and acquisitions. So that's what I was able to do, but only after going through the U and then everything else within that growth formula. But knowledge is power. So that's self-development. You have to keep doing, but you have to take action, because if you don't take action, your knowledge without action is just nothing. You need the action that actually moves things forward. So as you say, knowledge is merely potential. The action actually is what moves it forward. So, and the big thing is here, so if you set out to sort of pay yourself $100, $100,000 or £100,000 or whatever it is a year to grow your business. So that's what you want to be looking for. And then you want to be looking to make sure that you grow to do that. You could actually change that vision to a higher vision, but you need to then set your goals out, have your vision, whatever it is, and then go back and see what those goals should be. It's to create the lifestyle that you want as well. So have that as a vision, but that's yourself. So you need to look at what you want to actually have to succeed, what you believe is succeeding for you, and what your vision and goals are as an individual, because we're not all the same. So I want to grow a firm that's to a certain size or more, whereas some people don't want to even bother. They just want to stay where they are, just try and look to take themselves out of the business and have it running. And then they may be looking for retirement in 5-10 years or whatever, but then they might just be looking at an exit. So they'll be building up to an exit. They know what their exit's going to be, and then that could be their plan. Basically, it doesn't matter what your plan is. That is your plan and your goal, but you need to know it. And you take trade-offs. So depending on what you are wanting, you take the trade-off in that as well, in your time freedom as well. Well, you do want the financial freedom from any business, so you do need to work out what you need from your business as a minimum, especially to have what you want. So what do you want from one? What do you want? The turnkey business? So I've actually gone over this, but the turnkey business is one where it doesn't operate with you or need to have you in operation. What that means is you can step out if you want to, and the company or the firm will just carry on. So your accountancy firm, your bookkeeping firm, it means you have to have good people in place, and you have to have a whole organizational structure, everything like that. But if that's what you want, a turnkey business. It's also, if you are looking to sell your firm, is the best thing to have, because that gives you a better valuation. If you don't have a turnkey business, then when it comes to the valuation of firm, lots of acquirers will be wanting to put somebody in to take over your role. So you'd have that to factor against whatever the price or the cost of that acquisition or of selling your firm. But that all depends on how the valuation is done on your firm. How about the 3 freedoms? So we've got 3 freedoms. Financial freedom. What that means is earning what you want for your lifestyle, whatever that is. So you want to make sure that you know what you do need, and then that's what you need to be focused on earning through your firm, in order to give you that financial freedom. And it maybe also be looking at saving for retirement, putting things in pension. And that's what I'm doing a lot at the moment. I'm just maximizing my pension so that I've got that in the future. So it's always there for me in the future. So a bit of time delay gratification. Time freedom. So time freedom, what that means, if you want away, is freeing up your time. Is freeing your time up to do what you want. So that might be freeing up your time, whatever you are doing now, to do added value work, which you enjoy more, like a virtual financial director, management reporting, added value stuff, time with your family. You might not be able to have so much time with your family, not working as hard, so you can actually just relax a little bit more, being able to take a vacation holiday so you can go somewhere. So offer up that time freedom. I had an issue with the time freedom. I wasn't in a good place because I used to have to work evenings to get payroll done, especially at the start, because I was doing all that. I didn't have somebody in yet. I was very small right at the start. I also, when I was on holiday, I had to go into my emails and everything as well. So that was an issue. But now I'm looking to take my holidays every year. I'm looking to take all of the 25 days. I didn't manage to do this year. Or last year, sorry, 2023. I wanted to this year, 2024. So, but it's take away holidays as much as possible. But that's the time freedom. Then the last freedom is the mind freedom. So mind freedom, what that means with mind freedom is that you are able not to worry. You're not worrying about work not getting done. So the year-end accounts are going to get done. You don't really need to know about it. It's going to get done in the background. Or bookkeeping, the VAT, payroll. Now, that's a mind freedom, and also just the freedom that when you're on holiday, I mean, this is a time and a mind thing, that you're not worrying about what's happening at work. You're able to switch off. And it's just to have that peace of mind. And the only way you can do that, and we'll go through that, is by creating a structure that you want. But you need to look at and understand what mind freedom that you want and how much of an issue it is right now. And then by knowing what your issues are now and the mind freedom, it actually helps you structure what you need to get yourself out of that predicament. So 3 things vital to your success. So, and these are vital. The one is wake up and smell the coffee. I have this in my book. Now, wake up and smell the coffee is for all business owners, not just bookkeeping firm owners and not just accountancy firm owners. The only thing is, guys, as accountants, we and bookkeepers, we believe that we are the only ones that can do certain things and nobody else can do it. Now, that's not true. Other people can do it. The other thing, the wake up, the smell of coffee, means that look at yourself, what you are doing, and really take an open, honest look at how you are operating right now. Is it how you want to be? Are you overworking on the doing? If you're looking at working on the business, that's different, in my opinion, only because you might be doing it now so that you've got the growth in the future and you're developing yourself. So you might just be developing yourself in knowledge and things like that as well, and then putting in actions in the background, you know, as you're moving along. But wake up and smell the coffee means look at your situation, make sure you really understand where you are, and then that you aren't the only one as well that can do things. There are other people that can do what you do. Create your vision. Now, this is so critical, having a vision. So as a business owner, any business owner, you must have a vision. The vision is basically what you are wanting to do. So in the future, where you want to go to. We have a 10-year vision, and we'll go into that in the rhythm of the business if we've got the time. So a little bit, but we'll go into that in another webinar as well. So you look at your vision. You must have a vision. By doing that, then you can step back and you can create the steps for the 3-year and the 1 year, because you go backwards. Critical with the vision is bringing your team along, but we'll talk about that later. And believe in yourself. your vision, and others. And that's sort of, I've talked about this a bit in the Wake Up to Smell the Coffee. Believe in yourself. You can do more than you believe. I promise you. I'm doing things now that I never thought I would be doing. And I've seen people doing lots of amazing things. And also believe in your vision. If you have a vision, you don't believe in it, you are not going to be able to sell the vision to anyone else. I've got a book behind me there. I mean, you can see my other book, my own book there, The Firm You Want. But that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's Be Useful. Now, that is all about vision. So if you're interested to know more about vision, get the Arnold Schwarzenegger book, Be Useful. It's a brilliant book, brilliant book. But it's all about the vision. So I've just been talking about this. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. And that is only by bringing other people along. So you can make simple plans and commit to at least 3 things. That's what you want to be doing today. And that will help you on this, to go forward. So just write those down, as I've said. But it's a great quote, that leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So let me just take a water. How to build your team. This is a whistle-stop tour, guys, so I do apologize, but as it's very quick. Here, so build an A team. So now I'm a child of the 80s, so that's the A team. So build the A team. If you look at the A team itself, like the TV program, they all had their different roles. You have B.A. Baracus could drive anything, build anything. He was scared of flying though. Madman Murdoch, he could fly, and it was a bit crazy, but he was able to do things other people couldn't do. You had Face, he could get and source anything. And then you had Hannibal creating the plan. So you are Hannibal, you are the one that should create a plan, and you love it when a plan comes together. But that's my 18 days. I love that. But think of that. Everybody in your team has a role, and they need to know that role, and you need to know what that role is, and you need to know your own role. And that's the critical thing. Have your own role, but build that A team. Create an avatar. So what that means is look at what you are looking for, who you are looking for. Write out the avatar. So put points in what you want the person to be, ideal person for that position. You're never going to get their ideal person, so don't think you will. But by having that avatar, you are looking then at what you are going to be bringing in. And then those people that you do have, think where you can develop them into that ideal person that you've actually got the avatar of. So is having an idea of what you want, and then being able to develop that person into it. You will never get the ideal person, but make it as accurate as you want, because that's the best bet. And then you can actually bring people in. And then write a letter of expectation. So the avatars of what the person looks like, age, all this, and I know it doesn't have to be that age, but just your ideal visualized person, what they'll do, their background, their knowledge, everything like that. The letter of expectation. Now that is what you believe they should be doing in that role. So effectively, it's something that you'd be able to give the person, the candidate, or somebody when they start. And it's not just a job description, it's what you really expect them to do. So you expect them to be in at 9 a.m, finish at 5, whatever it is, like that, to that detail, just so you know exactly what is expected, or you're expecting of them. What the dress code, how they're going to be reacting with other team members, respectful, courteous, all these sort of things, so that you can actually give this letter of expectation to somebody. But it's also for you to know what you're wanting that person to do. So if they then don't do it, you are then able to have a conversation with them, whereas you actually know in this. But it is vital that you recruit sort of A players. And then if it doesn't work out and bad fit, you do need to be looking at somebody to replace it. And you want to be looking at your profile of your existing team and the team that you've got, because having different profiles is always very good. As accountants, it's a bit difficult because a lot of us accountants are introverts. So you tend to get a lot of that, accountants and bookkeepers, obviously. So I love this quote, Phil Jackson, the Bulls coach, as in baseball. So the strength of a team is the individual member. The strength of each member is the team. So you can't grow a business without a team, unless you're just a solopreneur, and that's so rare. You really need a team around you so that you can get those both the financial mind and the time freedom. You really need a team to be there, and then that build on your vision as well. So the rhythm of the business. With the rhythm of the business, it's a lot of it is having the meetings that establish this rhythm, and it is meeting. Now, each one of these is important. So for me, it doesn't have to be a daily huddle, but we have a daily huddle. Now, we have a team in the Philippines, so with Intelligent Outsourcing for Naylor Accountancy Services. So we have 9 out there, and then we have 7, 8 out here. So what happens is that every day they meet for 15 minutes. Everybody just has one thing to say, and see where they can help each other. If there is nothing to say, then they would just sort of have a little chat as well. So it's building the team as well, but understanding what's happening. They'll do a core value as well once a week, just of our core values in Naylor Accountancy, which is I care, which is integrity, care, accountability, respect, and excellence. I'm not going to go into those details now, but the idea of all of this is to build a relationship with everybody, especially because people are working remotely in the UK, but in the Philippines, they're all in an office, but they're in a different location. So just to make sure people are different places, we have different offices as well in the UK. So daily huddle. Weekly leadership meetings. Now, these are critical. Weekly leadership meetings. I never thought I'd have to have a weekly one. But with a weekly one, you get the rhythm. It's the same format, same agenda every week. Sorry, this is what we do. Sometimes you feel like you don't need to, but you have to, and you keep the same day, you do it on the same time, and everybody keeps that free. If they're away, they're away. You don't change that meeting unless it's a holiday, public holiday or something, but you don't normally change it. And then you might just miss it, potentially for 1 week, but rarely do we miss one. Only Christmas time mainly. We may, so that's how it operates. So weekly leadership meeting. What happens in those? And we'll come into the processes and stuff a bit there, because I'm running out of time, guys. Sorry. One-to-one meetings. These are critical. One-to-one meetings. Have one-to-one meetings with your leadership team or your direct reports, and then obviously we've got the organization. You have the organizational structure. You need to make sure everybody's on the same wavelength. And then they have their meetings with anybody else in the business, but you just have it with your leadership team, just so you're on the same page. Quarter review meetings. Now, this is also very critical because everybody has a 90-day window of attention. Now, I didn't know this until I was reading loads, but everybody's a 90 days. So you create your goals and stuff within a 90-day window. Everybody has a goal, and it only goes to one person as well, because if you have 2 people, nobody does it because nobody's taking accountability. So you need one person. Quarterly review meeting is so good, because then you end up setting your next quarterly goals, and it is moving along your plan for the 1 year. So you've got your 1-year plan that you're moving along. And that's the way it looks. You look at where you are. Do you need to make any changes to carry on that plan? And then just keep moving, keep moving. Then your annual way forward planning meeting. This is when you revisit your vision, make sure your whole leadership team are on board with it. Make sure they are looking at your 10 years. So it's 10 years from where you are. And then revisiting it, what needs to change, anything, no, 3 year, 1 year, and you just check your purposes and your core values, you're still happy with those, and then you move forward, creating a discussion on where you are, what you've done the previous year, and things like that. Well, this annual way forward, we've just done it with Naylor Accountancy Services in mid-Feb or beginning of Feb, and that was awesome. I'm always proud of my team when we do these, because they always build on the vision. And the same with intelligent outsourcing, build on the vision. They make it bigger than my original vision, because originally I had to create the vision, then bring it to this meeting, say, look, this is my vision. What do you think? And then they've built on it. Basically, they've been bought into the vision because they are building that vision, and it's bringing it forward. So their vision is even more than mine. If you've got a team, a leadership team, do bring them on board with the vision and get them to contribute to it, because that does give them a sense of ownership of it as well. And it also, you want to hear what other people think and say and believe and discuss it all, because if you don't do that, you don't know what you don't know. And that's why I like having discussions in our weekly ones as well with everybody. It's not me dictating anything. I'm step back and listen, and then we do a way forward. Business structure that supports your growth. So I will have to go through this quickly, but create systems and procedures. Now, this is critical. As a firm of accountants, we have systems in everything. We use something called suite process, where we write everything in and we change it. When we got somebody new coming in, they will go through it, being trained with it, with the person that's training them, and then they will edit it to update it. It should be edited all the time, but it isn't always. What happens here as well is in our weekly meetings, if we've got any issues that have happened, like just silly little things like I don't know, well, just say like a payroll didn't go out on time, that would go into our Project Perfect. Why didn't that go out on time? What can we do to make sure that doesn't happen again? Create a process, a solution, add the process to our systems and procedures so that doesn't happen again. And then we put that in there. So it's just constantly Project Perfect. We only have about 170 different Project Perfect items since we started it in 2021, I believe, or I think it was sort of end or mid 2021. Organizational structure and functions. Now that is key, to have an organizational structure and functions so everybody knows where they are in the org chart. We have a very flat one, but I'm the sort of you have visionary, what I'm called there. Then you have number two, and then we have the leadership team, and then we have the people underneath them. But again, having that organizational structure and each function that they are accountable for in each of the leadership teams. So they're accountable for functions. They know that. By knowing that they are accountable, there's only one person. We don't have two people on one, because that would just cause chaos. So that's how that works. And agendas. Now we've just had this for someone in our leadership team. They weren't doing agendas, and it meant their meetings were overrunning. This is with the internal team members, and the internal team was being unhappy because their time's been wasted. They've still got a limited amount of work, a limited amount of time to do the work they have to do. So then they're getting stressed because they don't have the time to finish the work they need to do. So the whole point is having an agenda keeps you to point and you move forward. And then if you do need to cover things that you don't have time for, look to finish. I'm not good at this, but I'm getting better. But look to finish your meetings on time so that then you can move on. If you need another meeting, book that later. It is difficult doing that if you're in the middle of something that you feel that's very important and you need to get conclusion on it. But as much as you can, do that. Now, what we've covered is the growth formula. We've covered how to set yourself up for success just with the different parts of the growth formula. And we've talked about how to build your team. Very briefly, guys, very briefly. There is more in the book. So there's the book, Rhythm of Your Business. And the book is available on Amazon, but I will be telling you more in a minute. And the business structure that supports your growth. So again, once you've got the vision, you know the growth you want, you know what the ideal structure is, and then what you want to be doing is building towards that structure. That's what I did. I knew that I had to grow in order to get the structure that I wanted, and in order to do that growth quickly, I need to do acquisition. So that's why I went for acquisition, so I could get in UK team members straight away for client managers, and then I knew I could get the compliance done in the Philippines with the intelligent outsourcing offshore team there. And then we just built like that, and that's how we're doing it with the next one as well. We'll be building. So we're able to grow easily, when we grow within each location. We want to retain all of our UK team because we see the value there, because it's not easy getting team members in the UK, as lots of you, or Canada as well. We are going to Canada. We're looking in Canada to acquire a firm over in Canada as well in 2025. So obviously it's very important to know what you want structure wise, but you don't know that until you know your vision, and then you can build towards that. If you don't know where you're going, it's like a roadmap. If you put into if you just drive and you don't know where you're going, you don't know an end destination, you're going to go all over the place. So you have to put in your, the code of wherever you're going, zip code, postcode, and then it takes you on that journey. Obviously, if there's things happening on the way, it'll take you on a detour. And obviously, you have to do that in business as well. Nothing's a straight line. It'd be easy if it was, and it's not easy, as I'm sure you all know. Okay. I love The Rock. He's inspiration to a lot of people just because of where he's come from, what he's done, and how he's been so successful. But success isn't overnight. It's when every day you get a little bit better than the day before, and it all adds up. And it's a bit like our Project Perfect. So we do that. Every little thing that happens, we just map it and increase, make it better and better. And that means we haven't got any big issues because we've got these Project Perfects going on all the time. So no sort of operational issues. Okay, just to so I'm going to have to end this now, but we're going to have some Q&As. But I'm just going to say, I hope you've found this useful. I hope it's been good use of time as well. So within this, there are a few steps that I'm going to put in here that you can take if you're interested, and you're very welcome to do these. So we could just stop the webinar and that'd be it. I do want to have Q&As, but I'm going to offer something else here as well. So this is just because I do believe in helping others go forward. So this is book a discovery meeting with me. So it would be a 45-minute meeting. You're not going to get loads done, but this is what we'll be looking at. This is what we'll be looking at. Just talking about your business, and then basically here talking about your business and your vision. So just talking about that. And my reflections just from my experience. I am no guru at all. I'm somebody who's gone through the heartache and the pain of getting there. I'm still going through the growth and everything. We are growing every year, and we're just moving up, moving on organically, and acquisitions within Naylor Accountancy Services. With Intelligent Outsourcing, we are growing, obviously not by acquisition, but just growing. My template for writing a letter of expectations. Now, we use it in two forms, like I've said. So just to write it up for the team member that's coming on board, but then also if there's an issue, I didn't say this, but if there's an issue with a team member, you can actually give them a letter, go through a letter and then give it to them and get them to sign it. But that's in the book in more detail as well. Ideas on what action you may want to take from your business forward. And that's the key thing. And I do hope you've got at least 3 from this. Anyway, a big bonus here. So I actually don't have any copies. I've run out of more copies, so I'm going to have to just get some from Amazon. But you can get it, like I said, on Amazon. It's on Kindle as well. It's on a very, very good price on Kindle. I need to actually increase it. So do get it if you want it on Kindle ASAP, because I've left it on a low price. So it's actually just so low. It's the lowest price I could actually put it on. But do get that if you do want that. I'm looking at an Audible, but that's not going to happen for a wee while because I'm focusing on other things right now. But if you want a free signed copy, you will have to wait a little bit because I need to get them delivered to me first. But you'll be able to get that as well. Just let us know. So here, just you can book a discovery call with Stephanie. So on that call, or DM me, direct message me just on LinkedIn. So Q&A. Now I'm going to stop sharing so you can actually see my face in full. If there are any questions, please do put them in. And I'd say we can't be on too long because I'm aware of time, and I do apologize for that. But just let me know. So I'm trying to find, I've lost where I am on the questions. I can't see. You can do it directly. Wrong one. Just trying to see chat. So there are no questions, but what I'd say, the big thing is if you do get the book or want the book, just let me know. It has everything in there. We are going to do this series, so there will be more on each of these areas because we need to be looking at going into a little bit more detail. So we definitely need to do that. And that's what we will be needing to do going forward. So I hope that's been of use to you. I'm just gonna, so with everything that we do, we are looking to just sort of help you guys. If there's anything else that you think that might be useful, just let us know and we can go with that as well. So I'm just going to leave you with, if there is none, I'm just checking there's nothing there. Q&A just before I go. So what I'm going to do is just leave you with one, I'm just going to share my screen again. Just going to leave you with this parting thought. So it's just our lovely Helen Keller. So with this, so I'm just bringing it up so I can see it myself. So alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. And that's with you and your team or whoever else that you take on the journey. But you really do want to be doing that as a team. So you can do so much more. Value. So I hope this was value. It's 45 minutes. We said it'd be 45 minutes. We've done Q&A. We haven't got anything. If you do want anything, just shout straight away. And then just remember what you'll get if you do want a discovery call with me. We'll talk about your business and your vision, and do think of your vision if you haven't got that before any meeting. What we'll do is put a bit of a thing together that you need to be. So my reflection on, from my experience, a template for writing letter expectations, ideas, or what actions you may want to take to move your business forward, and a signed copy of the firm you want, which is also available on Amazon if you want to get it that way, but I'm happy to give you one for free. So, and you can do all that by contacting Stephanie on this number. This is a UK number, or you can just direct message me on LinkedIn. But thank you very much for being part of this. And I hope that you have a very good Tuesday. Thank you guys. Cheers. Bye.